Good afternoon to one and all present here. I am Sohan Patil, Publicity Chair for SAE Club of Nutan Maharashtra College of Engineering. I welcome you all to this session of thanking Mechanical Department for arranging this session on behalf of all of us. I give special thanks to our HOD, Dr. Charkha sir, and our teachers, Rajput sir, Spandan sir, and for their support in arranging such type of sessions. A small introduction to our guest, Mr. Sailesh Patil sir. He has post-graduated from Pune University and graduated from NMU Jalgaon, both in mechanical engineering. He has worked as professor in engineering college in Pune itself for almost 10 years and then switching to automotive industry in 2006. Presently working as project manager in Tata Motors Pune in R&D section. I welcome you Mr. Sailesh sir to our Nutan family. Now, I request Dr. Charkha sir to say a few words before we start with the session. Dr. Charkha sir.
Thank you, Sohan. At the outset, I want to thank Sailesh Patil sir to accept this invitation to inform his expertise to our students of Department of Mechanical Engineering at Nutan Maharashtra Institute of Engineering and Technology. I am fortunate to meet you, sir, virtually, but would like to definitely meet you in person, and hope this session will definitely be some kickstart for our students to think for some innovative automotive designs, as this particular session is organized under SAE chapter, SAE student chapter of our department. So I personally feel that the automotive sector is still a very booming sector, and as per the new budget introduced by Finance Minister, soon by then by the Road Transport Minister, Mr. Gadkari sir, that now the older vehicles will be ruined off, and there will be a new automotive technologies and new vehicles in the market. So we are expecting that the mechanical engineering definitely would get a boom in coming days, and the automotive would be the main driver in that. So this session will definitely be good kickstart for our students as well as for the activities under SAE chapter. I extend my thanks to Professor Rajput and Professor Spandan Waghmare for taking efforts to organize this session, and I congratulate all. And sir, welcome on behalf of Department of Mechanical Engineering again, once again. Thank you very much.
Thanks, sir. Thank you.
Over to Sohan. Sohan. Hello.
हाँ सोहन.
Sohan.
Yes sir. We can continue with the session. We can continue with the session for Sailesh Patil sir.
Okay, I'll be sharing my screen. Just let me know when the screen is visible.
Yes sir. Yes sir.
For initial few minutes, I'll just switch on my video, and then later on I will switch it off. So first of all, thanks to Professor Pranav and all the respected professors from the Nutan Engineering College for giving me the opportunity to interact with the second, third, and final mechanical engineering students. Hello, am I audible?
Yes sir. Yes sir. You're audible.
Okay, yeah. So in my introduction, it was told like in the beginning of my career, it started with the engineering college as a lecturer, and then switch out to promoted to say assistant professor grade. Then in 2006, I got the opportunity to work with the automotive industry. Now the topic today which I'll be covering, that topic has changed my life. So during my teaching career, I was teaching the CAD/CAM related CAE subjects. So there was AutoCAD, then there is a CAD/CAM CAE, then machine design, machine drawing. So all these subjects that had changed my life. Now, different types of softwares we used to teach our students. So basically, I worked with the College of Engineering, Pravanagar, almost for 10 years. And whatever software I learned there, based on that, I could able to change my job from teaching to industry. So whatever I was gaining in the teaching, what I was earning in the teaching, and when I moved to industry, so in multifold, the different benefits I got. That is in terms of salary as well as in terms of personal growth. So teaching was my passion. Today also it was my passion. I had certain hobbies like cycling. Morning itself, I had almost 107 kilometers of cycling from Lonavala. So you may find my face a little bit sleepy because I woke up around 3:45 a.m. and I reach around 12. And I had my lunch and again I got boosted up to interact with you guys. So we'll start with our session. Okay. Now I'll just switch off my video. At the end of presentation, now whatever your queries will be there. So basically the topic which I'm covering is virtual product development and what are the job opportunities in the automotive industry. Since I'm working with the Tata Motors R&D, so I'm working in the field of CAE, that is called as a computer aided engineering. So I'm project manager, and with me there is a team of around 14 team members. So we use different kinds of softwares and we are helping our customer Tata Motors for developing their products. So mainly I'm working in the commercial vehicle field because Tata Motor itself is a big company. There is no need to give any introduction about Tata Motors. So we are in the passengers, we are in the commercial vehicles, we are in the defense. Okay. My parent company is Tata Technologies, which is in Hinjawadi phase 1. But I am deputed to Tata Motors, which is our customer. So I am working as a project manager there. So this is just a short introduction about me. Okay. This is very, very important. Like these two lines, you just read these two lines. You don't know what you don't know, and you know what you don't know. So life begins at you don't know what you don't know, and life will end at you know what you don't know. So in this session now, once we go through the each and every slide, many times we'll come to know, okay, I was knowing about these things. At least finally you will come to know these were the things which I was not knowing. Okay. Now what this session will cover? Now session will talk about the different automotive industries which are available in India, then what is the vehicle terminology, then what are the vehicle standards, then how the product development process happens in automotive industry, what challenges industries they are facing nowadays. Then I'll just throw some light on the vehicle testing and certification, then different types of testing. Then we'll talk about the main topic, virtual product development and testing, then different softwares which are used in industry and what are the opportunities in each and every area. Now when we say automobile, now basically this is a French word. So auto means self and mobiles or mobile, it means movable thing. So it will cover different types of automobiles. It will not be just a car. It may be either a two-wheeler, it will be a passenger vehicle, it may be a commercial vehicle, or it may be a three-wheel. Nowadays, whatever automobiles they're displayed on the screen, now they are running on the IC engine. Now today's era is about EVs. So now EV is capturing the market. Now development of automobile. So when any automobile it is being developed, it is not just a single part. Now in that automobile there are many sub assemblies. Say take example, there is a body, then there is a powertrain, there is a transmission system, there is a suspension system, there are controls, then there are certain electrical and electronic connections. Then if there is a AC fitted in the vehicle, so there will be called as a HVAC unit, heating, ventilation and air conditioning. and different types of mechanism they are being used. So development of automobile, a new vehicle, it will comprise all these kind of development of systems. So when body design, powertrain, transmission, suspension, now for each of every aggregate, for each of the part, in industry there are separate departments. So if you are developing a car, so body of the car development, then there will be one design department which will take care of this body design part. So there will be need of a mechanical engineer who can design those different types of cars. If it is a commercial, then he can design different types of trucks, or if it is a defense vehicle, then he can design different types of defense vehicles. So there is a requirement of mechanical engineering in all these areas. So different groups will be there, and in each group the mechanical engineer is required. Now if you look at the market, maybe I think you all guys might have born after 1980s, but in the old era in 1980s, these were the few products which were available in Indian market. There was one popular ad, Hamara Bajaj. If you go on YouTube, you can watch that ad. So that time it was a seller's market. If you book a vehicle, say a scooter, and you paid the money, maybe whatever the down payment is there, the 3,000, 5,000 that time. So it was taking almost 3 to 4 years to get delivery of that part. Now the era has changed, the market has changed. Lot of global player they are entered in Indian market. If you currently see the products in Indian market in 2021, so compared to the 1980, there was only 2-3 cars available. Say there was a Maruti 800, then there's a Premier Padmini. Now, regarding the shape of the cars, if you look at the shape of those cars, it was like a box kind of shape. Now in today's market, if you look at these vehicles, now these vehicles, they have very curvy shape. So the aerodynamic shape are being developed nowadays for increasing the fuel economy. Because Indian customer is very choosy, the customer wants better fuel economy car, as well as he wants a low cost car. So there are various car manufacturers in India which are selling their products in the different segments. Now you may be aware of, there are some sedan cars, there are some hatchback cars, then there are some sport utility vehicles. So some of the images they are being shown here, and other products like the commercial. This is from Tata Ace. In the ads, this is from Tata, and these are the companies. I hope like the audience from second year to final year. Okay, so everybody has seen these type of products in Indian market. So whenever we say a new product is being developed, then there's a front, the doors, the cabin. Okay, so one by one we'll see each and everything. Over the periods, if you see the different types of car models they are being introduced. In 1960, only there were 3 different cars were there. It's called as a sedan, sports car, and the Spider. Now, as the number of years are increasing, nowadays if you see more than 20 plus variants they are available. So it is hatchback, sedan, compact, then wagon, sports car, coupe. So over the period, number of cars are also increasing, number of products are also increasing. Means every automobile manufacturer, they want to introduce new products because every product has certain life. So we'll discuss the product life cycle also. So Indian market is very competitive. Indian customer is very choosy. So they are offering different types of products to Indian customers. Now when we talk about a car, now there is some car body terminology which is referred in industry. So the front portion is called as a grille, then this is called as a hood or bonnet, then there is called as a front windshield, then this portion is called as a A-pillar. Now this is most important terminology, because in the next slides you will come to know why what is this is meaning by the pillar. Then the middle portion is called as a B pillar. Then there is a roof. Then there is a C pillar. Then there is a boot space. Mostly we call it as a dicky for storing the luggage. Then there are some rear quarter panels. Then there are glasses. Then passenger front door. Then there is one part called as a fender. Then front bumper. So this is the automobile terminology. Now when we say a product, now what do we mean by a product? Say in you're studying design subject. Now in these subjects, you're also designing different types of couplings, different types of gearbox. So whenever you are designing the couplings or gearbox or a shaft, in that case you will need certain information. Like if you want to design a gearbox, then what should be the torque capacity, what should be the speed, how many number of gears will be there. Okay. So likewise, when we say a product, now every product, it will have a specification. Now what kind of specification it will have? Say a automotive industry, they want to develop a new car. Now when we say a new car is being developed, now that new car, now whether we want to develop a sedan car, a hatchback car, a sport utility vehicle, what kind of car we want to develop, then for how many passengers we want to develop that car. Is it for 2 people, for 4 people, for 6 people, 7 people? Then what should be its maximum length, what should be its maximum width, what should be its maximum height? Then what should be its maximum weight in order to get a better fuel economy? Then what type of engine we want to use? The crux is every product, it will have certain specification. Now from where we got this specification, there is a marketing department in the automotive industry. So marketing department, they did research in the market requirements, what are the customer complaints, what exactly the customer need. There also mechanical engineer plus with MBA qualification, these peoples, they are doing their job. They are gathering the information and they are sharing that information to the new product development department. So there is again a separate department called as a new product development. In short, it's called as a NPD. So the marketing data is being collected and that is being shared to the NPD. The NPD analyzes that data, exactly what customer wants. According to that, they prepare this product requirement sheet. So how exactly the new product development process it starts? So let us assume the development of say Tata Nano. A nano car is to be developed and that is the target for 1 lakh rupee the car to be developed. Now different ideas will be generated, like how it can be possible to develop a car in 1 lakh rupees. So ideas may be like this, or auto rickshaw kind of thing, where the body will be metallic but the cover, it will be a polythene kind of thing. Or second idea, can we have a plastic car, can we have an aluminum car? So different types of ideas will be generated based on the marketing information. Now those ideas, they will be screened out, they will be shortlisted. After screening those ideas, initial concept that will be developed. Any industry, they follow this rule. It's called as a design and development process. Screening. After finalizing the idea, then the concept is developed and that concept, it is tested. Testing, it means different kinds of tests will be done on the automotive product. In the subsequent slides, we'll see those tests. Then the marketing strategy will be defined, like in this area, we are going to sell these many products. Because whenever a new product is being developed, you will not believe that 1,000 crores. It may range from 1,000 crore to say 5,000 crores. Because industries, when they are investing that much amount of money, definitely they will expect some profit. So they are not doing the charities. But they have to run the industry. They have to pay salaries to the people. Okay. So that's why the marketing strategy very well known. Like how many products in a year we are going to sell. Based on that, the volume will be calculated. How much profit we can earn, because every product it comes with certain cost. Now a car, when it is manufactured, so everything is steel, then there are some plastic materials, some rubber materials being used. So all these parts, it will have its own cost. So based on the manufacturing cost, certain extra cost they will be added considering the profit, then that will be the sellable value of that car. Then the business case study will be prepared, like in a year we'll develop these many volumes of the car, we can sell these many volumes and this much profit will be earned. Now based projection, again a projection, that is not the reality. So based on the projection, now it is being decided whether to go ahead with this project or not. So business analysis will tell the automotive manufacturer whether this project is viable or not. So can we really invest 1,000 crore rupees so that we can earn certain amount of profit? Now once business analysis is being done, then the actual product will be developed, and then initial few products they'll be sold to the known customers, the existing customers. Those existing customers, they will test that product, they will give their feedback. Based on their feedback, again few modifications will be carried out, and finally the product will be launched, or it is called as a commercialization. And then that product will be available to the common people, so they can start buying those products. So generally in any industry, the similar process is being followed, whether it is an automotive industry or a non-automotive industry, the process remains same. So here places you will find there is a called as a concept development and testing. So testing word is coming here, and as well as there is a market testing. Now every product has certain life cycle, like a human, its lifespan ranges 50, 60 years, 70 years, in few cases it is 100 years. Likewise, for every product there is a life cycle. Take example of say mobiles. Now Nokia, initially it was very popular. So its popular model was the 3310. Then subsequently they launched new products. But nowadays Nokia is nowhere, because other mobile manufacturers they entered in the market. So there was certain lifespan for each and every product. Now for automotive also, if you see every 3 months, 6 months, the automobile manufacturers in India, abroad, they are launching their products. A new product is being launched. Now what this product life cycle tells us? So these are the various stages. On the x-axis you will see there's a product development, and there's the introduction, growth, maturity and decline. And y-axis it talks about the profit. Now in the initial stages of development, since industry is investing money, the blue line see that talks about the profit. So there'll not be any profit, because money is being invested. So that's why it is below x-axis, it is negative. Then the product will be introduced, and the red line is showing the sales. The product is introduced in the market. Depending on the popularity of the product, other people will start buying that product. So after introduction, the growth phase will start. After growth phase, then the competitor may launch another product with a low cost. So people may prefer buying the new product instead of buying the existing product. So again there will be decline in the profit. So once the profit decline will be there, then company will stop manufacturing those products. Nowadays if you see Maruti 800, now that production is being stopped. Now, instead of that Maruti 800, now they have changed it to say Alto 800 or Alto K10 kind of thing. So it means for every product there is a life cycle. So now coming to our main topic. Now what do you mean by virtual product development? Now the product development process, it involves number of activities. It involves the design of each and every aggregate, each and every part, as well as manufacturing of that part. Now nowadays all the industries, whether it is automotive, non-automotive, it is a medical industry, all these industries, they are using the computers for developing their products. Now in your curriculum also you have different subjects, that machine drawing, computer graphics is there, CAD CAM subject is there, or finite element analysis subject is there. Maybe for second year the subject may be machine drawing, computer graphics will be there, but for the final year students the subject of CAD CAM or FEM, FEA, that will be there. So industries, they are using the computers and different types of softwares for developing their products. Now what are those softwares? Few softwares they are called as a CAD. So CAD, it is again acronym, computer aided design. So virtual product development, it uses the CAD and CAE softwares. Now CAE, it talks about the computer aided engineering. Computers for design and development of the parts. So whether it is a manufacturing simulation you want to do, or whether you want to test your product, different types of tests they are being conducted on the product. So I will talk about automotive only. So what are these different types of tests, how these virtual product development, it helps the industry, how it saves lakhs of rupees. Because just now we have seen the product life cycle, the different stages of development of the product, from idea generation to commercialization. Now each and every process, the cost is involved, and for industry cost is very, very important. Investing less amount of money and earning higher profits, so that is a target of any industry. Now in market you will find these are different types of cars. You can see the aerodynamic shape of those cars now. Okay, so this kind of car is called as a hatchback. This is a sedan. These are the pickup vans. Then there is a SUV. Then it is a MPV. Few of the commercial vehicles also you found moving on the road. So buses are very well known to you. This is one of the product from Tata Motors. It's called as a SFC 407 kind of truck. So this is a medium commercial vehicle. So now more than 30 years, this product, it is still in the market. This is very, very popular in the market, because this is giving better fuel economy, maximum earning to the people who are buying that product. So that's why still it is popular, and company still they have continued with this product. Even though they have launched different types of products, but still they have continued with the production of this product. You will find different types of vehicles. Now there are mainly two kinds of vehicles. So these vehicles, the cars, they are called as a unibody, or its construction is also called as a monocoque kind of construction. So there will not be any chassis frame in these vehicles. What I mean by a chassis frame, look at these images. Now in these images you will find some ladder kind of structure is there. So this structure is called as a chassis. So all your commercial vehicles, they are developed based on this. So this is the basic foundation. On this foundation the structure will be constructed. But in case of some utility vehicle, or in case of some of the pickup vehicles, now this chassis is being used. So these vehicles, they are very, very costly. There are certain advantages of that unicoque construction or monobody construction versus these ladder frame constructions. So basically, if you look at the car, the car body, initially it looks like this. So there are various members. It is called as a A pillar, then B pillar, middle portion, then there is a C pillar. Okay. So this type of structure, it is called as a BIW, or body in white. since the color is white, so initially when structure is being built, now this structure, it comprises different types of parts. They are spot welded or they are welded. Now the spotting activity or other welding activity, that will be done automatically. For that purpose also some simulation softwares are there. In what way to optimize the total number of spots? In what way to optimize the welding? How to ensure the proper weld quality? Because when two metal parts they are being joined, welding is the process that is being used. Or nowadays the automobile manufacturers, they have started using some adhesives. So they are the metallic bonded structures, but they are very, very costly compared to the cost of the weld. So this is basically the main architecture of the car. Now on this architecture, the engine will be fitted in the bonnet side, then the steering assembly, the wheel assembly, then the door assembly, the boot assembly, everything will be fitted, and finally you will see a car. Now designing of this car, so there will be one design department. In the design department, again mechanical engineers they will be required. Those mechanical engineers, they will use the different CAD softwares. Maybe you guys have the CAD softwares in your computer lab. It may be CATIA, it may be Creo, it may be SolidWorks, Solid Edge. There is a huge list of softwares available in market, but few of the automobile industry where mostly the Creo and CATIA software they are being used. So Creo, most of the time the chassis development team, the engine department they are using, and as far as the styling and other things are concerned, the cab design department they are using the CATIA kind of software. So if you know these softwares, if you learn these softwares, still you have an opportunity that you can work as a design engineer in automotive industry. So there are many challenges in front of automobile manufacturers. The greatest challenge, the important challenge is about fuel economy. You can see the Maruti ad, very, very popular.
Sir, may I present to you the super luxury yacht, the Nefertiti. Apart from all the luxuries, it has 6 luxury suites, 3 kitchens, a mini golf course, a 3D theatre, 2 ballrooms, and to top it all, it has a top speed of 25 knots.
कितना देती है?
For a country obsessed with mileage, Maruti Suzuki makes India's most fuel-efficient cars.
So the message is very clear. The headline says the country obsessed with mileage. So Maruti Suzuki, they are manufacturing the most fuel efficient car because the customer want more fuel economy. Now from where we'll get the fuel economy? Whether it is a 2-wheeler or a 4-wheeler. If the weight is less, then only the fuel economy it will be possible. Now whenever the products they are being designed, so optimization of the product should be carried out. So in your curriculum you learn the topic as optimization. So there are various methods of optimization. So similar optimization methods, the algorithms, they are available in the software, and automotive industries they are using those softwares, those optimization methods for reducing the weight of the product, because weight is directly affecting the mileage. Second, if weight is more, it means the material requirement for manufacturing the car it will be more, so it is directly affecting the material cost as well as the process cost. So if weight is less, if number of parts are less, then definitely cost of the product it will be less and the customer will be very happy. Now if you look at the values, like you're using say 1 liter petrol, the 100% energy is being given to the IC engines, but still the engines they are the internal combustion engines. Now how much of energy is being utilized or converted as a power and how many losses are there? So you guys have learned the Carnot cycle, then there is Otto cycle, diesel cycle in your thermodynamics subject or in your say automobile subjects. Now these cycles, the efficiency is very less. It is less than say 40%. So just imagine, this is the greatest challenge, like how we can improve the efficiency or how we can reduce the losses. So out of 100% fuel, hardly 40% of fuel is giving you the power, or 40% of the energy is getting converted, which is utilized to run the vehicle, and all the 60% energy, that is a wastage. So that is the biggest challenge. So for carrying out the analysis of fuel economy, again, there are different softwares available. So there is one software called as a Simulink kind of thing, or there is a MATLAB software. So if you guys are aware of all these softwares, again, there is a possibility, like in case of engines department, or the department called as powertrain department. So there is a possibility that mechanical engineer can work and he can calculate the fuel economy and other calculations. Another challenge is variability in the components. No two parts are same. No two parts. There is a word called as same and similar. Like we said, these two guys who are twins, they are similar, but they are not the same. Similarly, because of the manufacturing facility, limitations in the machine, limitations in the tools, no two parts they are same. So it may happen like the product is being launched, when it is running in the market, running on the road, the part may get failed. So in the initial phase itself, if it is within warranty, so whenever you buy a car, you will see they will tell you 75,000 kilometers or 2 years, whichever is earlier. So that is the warranty the automobile manufacturer it gives. But it doesn't mean like after 75,000 kilometers, car will not work or it will fail. In actual case, the life of car, when it is designed, it is for say 10 years. Or whenever you are going to register in the RTO office, so whatever taxes we are paying, so that registration is valid for say 15 years. Now recently the policy is being changed, like after 15 years the US car, if its condition is unhealthy, so it should get scrapped. The policy recently has came. Earlier there was no such policy. Even 20-30 years old vehicle, they are running on the Indian roads, they are polluting the environment. Okay, because pollution, again, it is a big challenge. But right now in India, BS6 norms are there. In European countries, the norms are Euro norms, and in India now it is a BS6 norm. So that is very, very stringent. So earlier there was a BS4 engine. So BS stands for Bharat stage. Okay. So from Bharat stage 4 to directly deleting the BS5, we have moved to BS6. So whenever you buy a new car or a new two-wheeler, all the vehicles, all the engines, they will be BS6 vehicles or BS6 engines. So while designing the product, we need to ensure like there should not be any fatigue crack. Now fatigue phenomenon everybody knows, like whenever there is a repetitive loading which is coming onto the component, onto the part, because of that repetitive loading, it will generate the stress, and stress cycles, stress reversals, that will generate a crack. Slowly that crack will propagate and part will fail. So in case of industry, the failure definition is like if the crack is generated, still it is treated as a failure. Because after generating the crack, it may happen maybe next 2-3 years the product will run successfully. But the crack generation, crack initiation, that is treated as a failure. So we have to ensure whatever part we design, it should not fail for particular number of cycles. Every industry, they have their testing cycle. So for the testing cycle, the parts are being designed. Another biggest challenge in India, if you look at these photos, is the overloading. Now the pictures, they are self-explanatory. Now what is the capacity of a car? Say car is designed for say 7 people, and how many people they are sitting in those vehicles. All these images I got it from Google. All the contents of this presentation I collected it from Google. So I have just compiled this presentation. So these images, they are just telling you. Now there is one portion called as a tractor and trailer. Now because of the weight, now bending it has happened. So you guys have studied different types of failure modes also. There is a shear failure, there is a bending failure. So same things we do using these softwares. We want to ensure like there should not be any bending, there should not be any buckling kind of thing, no shear failure will be there. Now all these images, they will tell you like how much should be the factor of safety that will be considered by the automobile manufacturer. Say automobile is designed for say 7 people. Now if you look at these images of the car on the right hand side, so maybe more than 20-30 people they are sitting here. As far as automobile is concerned, the regulation says the person weight is to be considered as 75 kg. So if it is a 4 people car, normally the weight of the total weight of the total payload, we call it as a payload, that is stated as the 300 kg. But it will not be just 300 kg. Maybe there is some luggage which is carried by the people. So that luggage weight we need to consider. Now, apart from that, a vehicle is designed for say for 4 people, considering the 4 people weight. Now here, if you look at these images, number of people there are more than 4. So factor of safety is very, very important, because automobile manufacturers, they study. Initially I told you like the marketing department, they collects the information. So exactly in which area we are going to launch this product. So that area will tell you what kind of loading pattern the people are following, whether it is a passenger vehicle or it is a commercial vehicle. So that is one of the input while designing the product. So marketing department, it plays a crucial role with gathering the proper information. Then another thing, if you look at the road conditions in India, in few places it is really horrible. You can see different types of potholes. Many times you find the accidents. There are off-road kind of things. Even on your highways also, you'll find such big potholes they are being created. Then there are certain guard section roads. Then next thing about the speed breakers. Now none of the speed breakers which are laid on Indian roads, they are as per the standard. So if the vehicle ground height is less, definitely the body of the vehicle is going to touch the speed breaker. So these are the also different types of conditions which we need to consider while designing the product, while analyzing the product. Because on the guard section, your steering, it plays very, very vital role. Every time the LH turn, RH turn, the left hand side, right hand side turns, that needs to be considered. If continuous LH and RH turn, it may happen the steering may fail. So that LH turn, RH turn, it will comprise 140 kind of cycle, and that will give idea how much force the driver can apply on the steering wheel. So for say, if the wheel gets jammed in a pothole or on a muddy road, then in that case, the driver will try to apply maximum effort. In case of gears also, sometimes gear gets locked. So the people, instead of using hand, they will use their leg to change that gear. So people may apply 100, 200 kg of force. Instead of one person, the driver and its assistant, both they will try to change the gear with their hand. So total number of force, again, it will exceed high. So these are the different input parameters which we need to consider while designing the product. Now in a vehicle, what customer expects. So if you are the customer and you want to buy a new vehicle, so definitely these are some of the parameters which automobile manufacturers, they take care of. The most important parameter is the safety. If you are buying a car and tomorrow if some accident happens, then all the passengers, they should remain safe. So based on that, now you might have heard the star rating of the car, 3-star rating, 4-star rating. Tata Nexon, it has got say 5-star rating. So that star rating, it has started now. So when it is said a 5-star rating, it It means it will ensure, like in case of any kind of accident with the specific speed limit, if it happens, nothing will happen to the passenger. Many times on YouTube or on WhatsApp, we get forwarded message like car drops in a valley, still the passengers are safe, nothing has happened to them. So safety is the topmost priority. Then there are some acoustic kind of thing. Car should not be noisy. Then there is some air conditioning requirement. Now most of the things now they are mandatory. The seat belts are mandatory. Say airbags, they will be mandatory. In the cars also you will find the different variants that are coming. Say LX, SX, DX. So some luxurious kind of vehicle, some base model. Now slowly the regulations started coming. Like even in the base model, the seat belts they are compulsory now. So seat belts they are very very important. In the crash testing part, we will see about the seat belts. Now, if you want to design a car, now from where to start? So whether shall I start designing the roof? Shall I start designing the engine compartment? What is the reference point for me? The way you design the gearbox, coupling, shaft, you get some input details, input data, or you're creating some drawing sheets of say gearbox or any other part. Then you get some reference, and based on that reference, you started building that sheet. Likewise, in case of cars, the human body, whatever that hip joint red dot is there, that point is taken as a reference because the driver, it is sitting on the seat, driver seat, and the hip joint portion of the driver, that is taken as a reference point. Now that point is called as a H point. This H point is very very important. Now based on the reference of this H point, all the parameters which are highlighted in the red color, the roof height, the aerodynamics, the visibility, seating comfort, ease of entry, exit, interior packaging, safety, airbag design, all these parameters they are being designed. Now in the next figure it will explain you. So depending on the driver height, maybe the driver height it may range from say 4.5 feet to say 6.5 feet. So all the height ranges, they need to be considered, whether it is a male driver or a female driver. So all these parameters they are being considered. So H point will tell you whatever controls are there, the accelerator, brake, clutch, whether they will be accessible or not. Nowadays, if you see the seats, they are available with certain mechanisms called as a adjustable height seat, or you can move the seat forward and rearward. So in order to take care of the different heights of the passenger based on their hand length or the leg length, these parameters they are being designed. So this is very very important. So H point is very very important. So that H point will tell you all these parameters, whether steering wheel accessibility is there, how much is the roof space available. It shouldn't happen like the person's head, it should get impacted whenever the vehicle will move on say speed breaker. The driver will have a bump kind of feeling, and when he'll bounce, in that case there should be sufficient gap available between the roof of the vehicle and the head of the passenger. So that H point is very very important. Now earlier we saw some BIW kind of structure. Now this is the called as a body in white structure, BIW. As I said, safety is very very important. Another aspect is a durability. So durability, it talks about the strength of the object, strength of the part, strength of the car. Like the part should not fail under any severe loading. Now you may not be knowing, like all these products, they are being tested so severely. So let us just see the video. So that video will tell you like how severely the products they are being tested. And similar tests, now because of confidentiality I am not showing any Tata Motors videos, but I am just showing the video from YouTube. So it is readily available, that is from Ford. Okay, so you just see this video. So this is one of the testing track which is showing you different potholes, different stones are there. So these type of tracks, they are available in the automobile industry, as well as ARAI is there, Automotive Research Association of India, that is in Kothur, Pune. So they also have these kind of tracks testing facility. There is a VRDE in Ahmednagar. They also have these kind of testing tracks where the vehicles, they are being tested. So these are the testing of the vehicle, internal testing of the vehicle on different testing tracks. Different types of tests, they are being conducted. So you just go through this video. This is about suspension. This is the rear axle. Vibration is suffering from. Now, apart from the field test or testing track test, there are certain in-house tests which are carried out by the testing department. Now, the testing department, it comprises two types of people. So there are some instrumentation or electronics engineers who are taking care of some measurements, and there are mechanical engineers who take care of the testing of those parts. So for physical testing of the products, there is again the requirement of mechanical engineer who is taking care of all these types of tests. Now for these testing, there is a specified test cycle for specified number of hours, for specified number of days. The product is being tested. Now this will give us idea like whatever was the design earlier, is it meeting the target or not? Now if it does not meet the target, again the redesigning process will happen. So this is called as a bench test or also called as a rig test. So in your workshop, in your labs also, there are some small testing facilities available. So it is similar kind of thing, but only for testing the vehicle. There are some thermal loading tests. Then there are some drop kind of testing, drop test.
3, 2, 1. 2, 1.
Testing performance.
1. Pops that I could see.
You can see the vibrations also. Kind of test, like whenever the vehicle fails, then towing should be carried out. So what will be the towing speed of the vehicle? Then corrosion test. So this is mainly for the paint.
Actually take a tool with a lathe tip on it and I scribe down to the base metal and then
They just see the wheel movement in the slow motion. So how the suspension is behaving whenever the vehicle it moves on the bumpy roads. So these are the different types of tests. They will be conducted onto the physical part. Now, apart from these tests, now this session it was talking about the durability. So durability is taken care by the testing department. So there will be few peoples, they will carry out the test in-house, and there will be field trials also, field testing also. In both the departments, the requirement of mechanical engineer is there. Another aspect of the vehicle is the crash requirement, crash strength of the vehicle. Now, if somebody hits from the front side of the vehicle, so that will be called as a front impact. So the front zone of the vehicle, it should have a good strength. If somebody hits from rear, or somebody hits from side, or if the vehicle rolls over, in many cases it happened, like during accident, the vehicle rolls. So all the structure, the A pillar portion, the B pillar portion, C pillar portion, it should have good strength. So let us just see this video, crash testing video. This is for Hyundai. The airbags, they got deployed. So this was about the crash test. Then apart from crash, there is again another area called as NVH, noise, vibration and harshness. This is also very, very important. The vehicle in which you are sitting, if it is a very, very noisy, then you will become uncomfortable. So noise will be generated by different parts. Noise will be generated by engine. Noise will be generated by the wheels. Because of the air also the noise will get generated. So if vehicle is noisy, nobody is going to buy the vehicle. So there are certain regulatory norms like what should be the noise in the passenger cabin, how much dB noise, decibel noise is permissible. Then what should be the pass-by noise. Suppose you are standing on a road and suddenly the vehicle passes, then how much noise the vehicle can generate and how much it will be acceptable. So noise, vibration, this is very, very important. Now all these noise and other things, they are related to the frequency. So frequency is very, very important parameters. For say single degree of freedom system, you guys have studied the frequency is 1 by 2 pi root k by m. So k is a stiffness and m is a mass. So if it is a car, then k will be the stiffness of the car and m will be the mass of the car. But since car, it is a multi-degree freedom system, the equation will not be just root k by m, but there will be so many k's will come, so many masses will come. So frequency, it is very, very important. Now frequency of each and every aggregate is important. Like there is a frequency for wheels, there is a frequency for the steering, the frequency for gear. Okay. So each and every part, when it makes noise, now if the two noises or two frequencies, they get coincide, then the coupling will happen. Or you may be aware of the resonance phenomenon. Now in case of resonance, when your natural frequency, when it matches with the excitation frequency, then resonance happens and the amplitude increases. Just imagine like the wheel is rotating and the driver is driving the car. Now the wheel, if it matches with the driver seat frequency, that time what will happen? Like as the wheel rotates, the driver will start bouncing. So driver will be uncomfortable. So while designing the car, the NVH aspect is very, very important. The frequency aspect is very, very important. So everybody has already gone through the tuning for experiment in your schooling as well as in your college. Like what are the different types of frequency the tuning for it generates and what are the different shapes. These shapes, they are called as the mode shapes. Now to extract the frequency or to extract these mode shapes, the softwares are there. They will tell you if it is a seat, what will be the frequency of seat, if it is a tire assembly, if it is a suspension, if it is a car, if it is a mirror. Now on the two-wheelers also, if you will notice, like after a few days, the mirror will start vibrating and the vision will get blurred. So there is a regulation for the mirrors also. Like when the vehicle will be moving at maximum speed or minimum speed, so there will be a range of speed. In the first gear, the speed will be minimum. In the second gear, third gear and top gear. As the gear changes, the speed of the vehicle changes. So accordingly, the vibration input or excitation, that will also get changed. And the part will vibrate. So in final year, you are studying that vibration subject. So the knowledge of that vibration subject, that is very, very important. And in automotive industry, NVH is the separate department. So there are two areas. One is NVH CAE, who are doing the simulations using the softwares, and there is a NVH testing. Now in these two departments also, there is a requirement of mechanical engineer. Human body parts, it has different resonance frequency. So these two images, they will tell you, like the eyeball of the human being. So what is its frequency? The frequency of chest is around 5 to 10 hertz. Then abdominal frequency or abdominal 8 hertz. Now many times it happens, like whenever people, they travel through public transport, maybe buses, they feel some vomiting sensation. Now the thing is, the frequency of the vehicle and if the frequency of their stomach, if it get matches, then they will start feeling the vomiting sensation. So that is only because of that frequency phenomenon. So every human body, it has a frequency. Suppose you are driving a car on an expressway. Now you are driving it with say 60 kmph, 70 kmph, then you can easily see the view. But as the moment you increase your speed, then slowly your vision will get blurred because your eyeball frequency, it will change, and that will affect the vision. So many times the accidents, they happen because of the overspeeding. So frequency is very, very important parameter. Another aspect is the aerodynamics. Now, in case of aerodynamics, you may be aware of there is some drag force kind of thing. There is a lift force kind of thing. Like when the vehicle is moving, now whatever lines that are displayed on the screen, they are nothing but the air lines. Like air velocity is impacting onto the front of the car. So air will always try to resist the motion of the car. So if the frontal area is a rectangular shape, then the resistance will be high. If the frontal area is having certain angles or slopes, then the resistance will be a bit less. Now, in case of any vehicle, if you see the front face or rear face, there are curve features that are being provided. So purpose of providing these curve features is to reduce the drag. Because if drag is more, the fuel economy, it will be less. So there is one department called as the CFD, Computational Fluid Dynamics, or aerothermal department, which takes care of all these things. Like what should be the aerodynamic shape of the vehicle. There also mechanical engineers are required. So that department, they will calculate for different shapes of the parts, what will be the drag coefficient, then how much efficiency or how much fuel economy will get. Another thing, if there is a AC fitted in the car, when you switch on the AC, how the cool air, it will move into the passenger compartment. Many times on the rear side, the AC vents, if they are not present, the people, they will feel hot. Nowadays, if you look at the recent cars, on the rear side also the AC vents are given. So that aerodynamic department, that takes care of how to cool the car, if it is a AC, comfortably, and how to reduce the drag. Now, whenever automobile industry, they design and develop any part, any car, or any truck, any bus, now that should get approval from government agency. Without approval, you cannot launch your product. So in India, there are certain testing agencies. ARA is there is a VRD, there is a CIRT, then there is a International Center for Automotive Technology, Manesar. So these are the 6 testing agencies where the product should get tested. There are number of certificates which are required to be borrowed from these testing agencies. You have to show your vehicle physically. There are some testing requirements related to the overall dimensions of the vehicle. Now, all these testing agency, they require the people. Again, those people, there are different types of engineers. There will be mechanical engineer, there will be instrumentation engineer, ENTC engineer. So all these engineers, they are also required in all these testing agencies who will take care of all the things. So when I said we have seen the crash test, we have seen the durability test. So these types of test facilities, they are available with these industries. And there are the regulations which needs to be met by the automobile manufacturer. Even if it is your registration plate, for that also there is a regulation. The headlamp of the vehicle, the footstep, if it is a truck and the driver wants to climb into the truck. Now, what should be the footstep height from the road? So if the height is more, whether there will be single footstep or 2 footsteps, they should be provided. All that is being mentioned in the standards. You guys are using some design data books, PSD design data books, or any other design guidelines. Likewise, automobile industry, they use the AIS standards, called as automotive industry standards. So they have to meet the automotive industry standard. There are certain IS standards, or if the vehicle is to be launched outside India, so whatever regulations are there, the vehicle should meet those regulations, then only the vehicle will be launched. So this is one of the standards, say AIS 093. This is for the code practice for construction approval of truck cabins. So there is a truck cabin, the different dimensions of truck cabins are being shown, and on the right hand side, though it is not readable, but it talks about the requirement by the standard, like what different criteria are there. So automobile manufacturer, they have to fill the data regarding their product. They have to submit the vehicle to the testing agency. Testing agency will cross verify it and they will issue the certificate. So similar to dimension certificate, there are n number of certificates to be issued. Without certification, the product cannot be launched. Now there are certain tests which we saw earlier now, the durability test or crash test. Now in each of these tests, the physical product is required. Now just imagine the company started developing a new product. Now at the beginning of design cycle, product will not be available, and maybe say after completion of the design cycle, during testing phase of the product, suppose the product fails to meet the design requirements, then again the whole process will go waste. The product to be redesigned. If it is being decided the product is to be launched immediately, now all the launching cycle, launching dates, they'll get postponed. Redesigning of product, redesign, it involves design cost and as well as some manufacturing cost, as well as some delay cost. So it will be very, very costly for automobile industry. Like during the testing phase, if the product fails, the physical part fails, then there is a big loss to the industry. Then what is the solution for this? So solution for this is all the industries nowadays, they are using these virtual tools, the CAD and CAE tools for testing their products. So this is our main topic now, computer aided engineering, use of computers for design and development of products. So this CAE software, now I'll be talking specifically about the CAE. So CAE mainly talks about the analysis part, like called as a finite element analysis. Maybe third and final year students, they are aware of what is a FEA or something. For second year students may not be known, but in next slides I will just explain in short what do we mean by FEA. So industry initially they uses the CAD softwares for designing the parts. Once the CAD model is available, now that CAD data is given to the CAE department. So in industry, every industry now, whether it is automotive or non-automotive, there is a CAE department where the mechanical engineers specifically they are required. In CAE, mechanical or automobile engineers, they are required. Okay. In CAE, nobody from instrumentation, ENTC, he will work, but only mechanical and automobile engineers, they will work. Or in few cases, say production engineers. So these CAE tools, CAE software, they benefit to the industry. They're reducing the design and development time. Long back, we have seen the product life cycle or the design cycle. Now earlier, to design a new product, almost 6 to 7 years. Like from design phase to launch phase, almost 7 years were required. Now that design cycle that is get reduced, it may be in 2 years or 3 years, industry is launching new product. Then these softwares, they are improving the safety of the product. They are improving the durability. They are helping to improve the durability. Means they will tell you like the part is not meeting the strength requirement in this area, you please add the material. Or as well as these softwares, they have features of optimization. So you can optimize the product. So there are n number of softwares, CAE softwares available in the market. So one by one, we'll just go through those. Okay. So if you just search on the Google and CAE software, you will find a huge list. So mainly CAE software, it talks about the CAE process. So CAE software uses the method of finite element analysis, so mainly known as FEM or FEA. So FEM stands for finite element method, and FEA, it is a finite element analysis. So this FEA or FEM method, it comprises three different steps. First is called as a pre-processing, where the finite element model will be built. Then there is a solution phase called as applying the boundary condition, what kind of analysis you want to carry out, whether you want to carry out the deflection pattern, whether you want to find out the frequencies, whether you want to find out the temperature distribution. And after carrying out the analysis, then viewing the results, post-processing the results. So this is just a simple example of FEA. There is a physical system called say ladder. Now how that ladder will be represented in the FEA software. So this is simple 1D kind of model. The red points, they are called as nodes, and the blue lines, they are called as elements. So the physical system is, say, suppose it is a CAD data created from Creo or CATIA software, and the right hand side FE model that is created using any of the CAE software. Now there are various CAE softwares. There is ANSYS, there is Abacus, there is Nastran. Then for creating the finite element model, most popular software industries, they are using the Altair Hypermesh. Okay, in next slides you will see that software. So this is a finite element model, means physical system, the geometry, now it is converted into finite element model. Now in this finite element model, if you want to find out, you can fix up the bottom portion, so you can block the degrees of freedom. Now in theory of machines, you have studied different types of joints. There is a ball joint, there is a socket joint, there is a slider joint. Then you know about the degrees of freedom. So you can fix up the bottom portion, and if the person is climbing on the steps, so you can apply weight of the person either on any of the member, and you can check the deformation pattern, you can check the stresses. So CAE software will require a finite element model. Now these are few of the examples of the finite element model. So this is a brake shoe learner. The middle one is the, then there is a plastic fuel tank. So these type of finite element models, they are created using the Altair Hypermesh software, or there is another software called as ANSA. Now what this software, they will tell you, if it is a static kind of analysis, you can extract the deflection, you can extract the stresses, strains. Now in strength of material, you learn all these things. What are the different types of stresses are there? There are the shear stresses, there are bending stresses, there are combined stresses. Then different types of strains. Okay. So shear strain, normal strain. You can extract the forces, you can extract some energies. If it is a heat transfer analysis, then in the heat transfer subject, you guys have studied like with heat generation, you have studied some plate example, like one end of the plate is heated at say 300 degrees centigrade. On other end, the atmospheric temperature is there. So how the temperature distribution will happen? So similar kind of analysis can be carried out in these softwares. So if it is a fluid analysis, let's say your fluid machinery subject, fluid mechanics subject, whatever equations you guys have learned, the Euler's equation, Bernoulli's equation. So these softwares, CFD softwares, they are using those equations, and they will tell you the different types of outputs. If it is a dynamic analysis, you can calculate the frequencies, you can calculate the stresses. Now in industry, one of the most popular software is called as a multi-body dynamic software. So whatever vehicle test we saw, in one of the vehicle, I told you, like, just look at the suspension, how wheels they are vibrating, how wheels they are moving on the bumpy road. So vehicle handling, it is very, very important. Suspension design, this is very, very important. So for designing the suspension, the purpose of suspension is to avoid the vibrations which get transferred from road to the passenger. So suspension uses different types of springs. There may be coil spring, there may be leaf spring if it is a rigid suspension. So there are different kinds of suspensions vehicle uses. Say independent suspension, so it is called as a double wishbone, or this is another strut kind of suspension. So For designing the suspension, the CAD engineer, the suspension design engineer will design this object, but for the specified loads, whether this object design is okay or not, that will be ensured by the CAE engineer. So for carrying out the analysis, one analysis called as a strength analysis, another analysis called as a performance of these linkages. Now in theory of machines, you have studied the 4-bar chain mechanism, then slider crank mechanism, or different kinds of mechanism. Now how these mechanisms they work. So for carrying out the mechanism analysis, the multi-bar dynamic softwares they are being used. Now that software name is MSc Adams. So in CAE again there is a subgroup called as a MBD group, which takes care of all these kind of mechanism type of simulation. So there are again good opportunities. Very few people they work in this area, in the MBD area. Even if you want to do your post graduation, you want to do MS. So this is again a preferred subject, vehicle dynamics. Very less people are available in the vehicle dynamics area, and lot of good packages they are being offered to those engineers who have a good knowledge of this vehicle dynamics. So in the initial phase itself, for carrying out the mechanism analysis, this MSc Adams software is used. So this is just simple GUI of that software. It is just drag and drop kind of thing, the way you create the 4-bar chain and slider crank mechanism. So likewise, the suspension mechanism, they will be created, standard links will be available, different types of joints, ball joint, pin joint, slider joint, they will be defined. Input will be given to one link and the response will be measured at the other link. A response, it may be a force, it may be velocity, it may be acceleration. Like how the mechanism it will behave. Just for example, now there is a engine and tappet valve. There is one spring here and there is a cam mechanism. So in theory of machines, again you have learned the cam and follower mechanism. So as the cam rotates, so this pink color valve, it opens and closes. Now just imagine if the spring stiffness is very less, that time the valve functioning may be improper. So the software will tell you how much spring stiffness you should use for particular opening and closing of that valve. So the embedded software tells you then what should be the linkage length. So those points they are called as a hard point, like from this green part, from rocker to the spring, from spring to again to the valve, again on the left hand side from rocker to that rod and rod to again cam. So different linkages are there. These linkages they will be connected, different joints will be defined and output can be generated. Again there are some steering mechanisms. So in vehicle, all the vehicles use a steering. So when you rotate the steering, so there is one phenomenon called as understeering and oversteering. Understeering, it means when you are rotating the steering say on left hand side and you desire the vehicle should go by this much distance on left hand side, but if it is not going, you need extra effort to move the vehicle, that is called as understeering. Oversteering, it means steering is very sensitive. Even if just rotate the steering on left hand side or right hand side, instead of desired path, it will move an extra path. So that is oversteering. So before the vehicle is built, in the design itself, based on the linkages information, this software will tell you how your steering will behave, whether there will be understeering, whether there will be oversteering. This is another software, Altair, which just I talked. Like Altair is a very popular software. Now this software itself, they have huge offices in India. They also require mechanical engineer in their offices. So they are also supporting the automotive and non-automotive industries. So this is just a GUI of that software. Like CAD model is imported. So CAD model, it comprises only surfaces. There are some surfaces or solid parts. They will be imported and the meshing activity will be carried out. Now this software, it has also feature, apart from meshing, the analysis also can be carried out. So Altair, it has their own solver called as OptiStruct. So there you can carry out the different types of analysis. So strength analysis. So you can see some of the color snaps. So they are showing different contours. So it may be say there is a stress. If this is a wheel, in the wheel rim, because of loading, like which are the areas. So that color contour, depending on the color code, red to blue. So it will highlight like this is a sensitive area. Here the failure may happen. So as the software is indicating you like failure is going to happen, say in the spoke region, particularly say in the fillet. So there extra material should get added. So before actual manufacturing of the part is getting tested virtually using these softwares. Again, one of the good feature of the software, like say automobile manufacturer, they have designed say 3-meter car, and they want to design instead of 3 meter, 3200 meter car, 3.2 meter car. Sorry. So for 200 millimeter extra, this software, it will have some feature called as a hypermorph. Whatever existing model available with you, the same model can be stretched. So it will be extended in any way, either on the length, either on the height. So different combinations can be tried out by using this capability. So it will not require any geometry. So that will again save a lot of time. This is again another thing, like instead of a small wheel, if we use a big wheel, so how the vehicle will look like. So again, there is a morphing feature. This software, it has also capability, not only Altair, the other analysis software also. They have capability of carrying out the optimization of parts. Now optimization mainly it falls in these 4 different categories. One is called as a topology optimization, another is called as a shape optimization, next is called as a sizing optimization, and it is a topography optimization. So what do you mean by topology? Suppose there is a C shape. Now in this C shape, wherever the bolting region is there, we said like this much material is minimum required. Now depending on the load condition, whatever loads we apply, the software will tell you like on the extreme right hand side, the pink color, yellow color image, like this much material will be sufficient to sustain the load which is being applied onto this part. So apart from this material, whatever excess material is there, so software will remove it. So material saving, again it will be reduction of weight of the vehicle. So this type of optimization, it is called as a topology kind of optimization. The bottom example is again that will clear the concept. Like there is a C shape, but instead of this C shape, whatever spoke shape we got, so a lot of material is being saved. So this is called as a topology optimization. So third year, final year students, they can do their projects in the CAE, say a topology kind of optimization projects. Another called as a topography optimization. Now every body or every part, it has certain stiffness. So without changing the material, without increasing the material, just by adding certain depressions, the stiffness of the part can be increased. Means the shape of the part is same, but now for improving the performance, improving the stiffness, software has given the red color, like in this area, if you add the depressions, then the stiffness of the component will increase. There will not be any increase in the material, but instead of plain surface, the depressions will be added. So this is the contour given by the software, and finally design engineer will decide, okay, this way we can give depressions. So the lot of time will be saved. Instead of testing this kind of part and again it is failing to meet the requirement, software is telling you add the depressions, there will not be any weight penalty. Then there are different types of crash. We saw different types of crash test. Like earlier I mentioned, there is a roof crush, there is a frontal impact, there is a side impact, there is a rear impact, then pole impact. So just go through these videos and just look at the severity. So in case of crash test now, once the test is being performed, airbag, it got deployed. Now, whatever physical test you saw, in that physical vehicle, once the vehicle gets test impacted onto the rigid wall, now it's of no use. For the second test, again you will require a second vehicle. Now, if there are say 10 different types of tests you want to carry out physically, 10 different vehicles will be required. Now, the initial cost of the vehicle, when the proto models are being built, at least one vehicle will cost in crores for automobile industry, because still it is design phase. So for the initial proto vehicles, whatever X number of vehicles company builds, so that is costing the cost of the vehicle in crores. The customer is getting the vehicle in say 5 lakh, 10 lakh, 20 lakh, but industry for the few products, initial products, they will require this much cost. Now, after testing it, if we come to know, like in crash performance, our vehicle is not meeting the requirement, again the process will come. Not only crash, there are other testing also, like frontal impact, the seat belt test is there. So whatever test earlier we saw, that was a frontal impact. This is called as a side pole impact. Like if somebody hits from the side, then how the structure is going to deform. So there is a total plastic deformation. Now this is about the seat belt testing. Just look at closely. So in this case, the seat belts, they are tested. So seat belt material as well as the seat locking mechanism, that is getting tested. But nobody does the way it is being shown. So in the old era, this type of test was another kind of test.
With a large impact, the new
So these are called as the dummies.
impact, the new Volvo F8 strong structure that protects the driver and other traffic occupants in case of an impact. The new Volvo F8 series is the safest Volvo ever built.
Safety is something we've had with us since day one. It's part of our heritage, and today it's one of our most important core values. The new F8 series is really truly state of the art when it comes to safety, because we've put all our knowledge into this new product.
Functional design is key when it comes to safety, and one of the main.
So now in this type of testing, the physical damage has happened to the vehicle. The dummies, they are being used for testing the vehicle, like during impact, what will happen to passenger, different types of sensors will be fitted. The person was measuring the dimensions. So he was measuring how much survival space was available for the passengers, whether that steering wheel, it intrudes into the stomach or into the chest of the driver. So they are checking the survival space. Now all these physical tests, they are done in the CAE software. Instead of doing it physically, now using CAE software, LS Dyna, all these testing, they are possible. So in automotive industry, there is one crash department. Crash department, again, two areas: physical testing, they will take care of physical test, and second is virtually in using CAE. So crash group, they uses LS Dyna, which is very, very popular. There are again PAM crash software. So n number of softwares are available in the market, but LS Dyna, this is very, very popular. So if somebody knows the LS Dyna software, again, good opportunity for mechanical engineering into the crash department. Nowadays, earlier I told you like there are 6 testing agencies, certifying agencies. Now these agencies, they are also giving certificates instead of physical testing. The CAE report, now that is considered as a valid report because there is a good correlation between CAE and the test. Based on that, the certificates that are being provided. So here you can see there is one kind of test called as a frontal impact test. The standard is AIS 029. So this is just a model, the CAD model or FE model. The actual vehicle is being impacted, and after impact, now what will be the behavior? So you can see this is the physical damage to the vehicle, and this is shown in the CAE. On the right hand side, they are the finite element analysis models. On left hand side, the actual images are there. So there is a good correlation is being set up now. So based on this, also the certificates they are being given. Apart from analysis, now in manufacturing area also, now you guys have studied the manufacturing subjects. So different types of metal operations they are being performed, because when we see different panels are there, different parts are there, so that should get manufactured. In manufacture area also, the simulations they are being performed, manufacturing simulation, whether there is a panel thinning effect, panel wrinkling is there or not. So regarding the metals, some simulations are there. So this is one kind of simulation. Just punch and die. So that will tell you, the red areas will tell you the material thinning will happen. Again, another, the punch is moving, there is a die. So before actual designing of the punch and dies, how the material it flows, so that can be also simulated in the simulation softwares. So this is called as a forming kind of simulation. So in this case, wherever the red will come, so it is showing like material thinning is happening in that area. So based on that, the design modifications will be carried out. Again, another kind of simulation is called as a sloshing. Like when you fill the fuel into the vehicles, how the fuel it moves into the tank. So movement of the vehicle, it causes if so that will create impact onto the walls of the tank. So this is a fluid versus the metal interaction. So that is also simulated in the CAE softwares. Suppose if it is a tanker. So whenever the tanker is moving, how the water it moves, how it get impacted. So because of impact of water, will there be any failure? Will there be any leakage? That can be also tested. So this simulation is called as a sloshing simulation. Then, as I earlier mentioned, like various softwares are there. So there is a ANSI software, there is a MSc Patran software, there is a Nastran software, there is Abacus software. So this is all about the product development and the testing, physically as well as virtually, in all the areas I have mentioned. Like in all these departments in automotive industry, mechanical engineers they are required. In few areas, the post graduation is compulsory. Say for example, in CAE field, PG is must. But there are few industries wherein say service industry kind of thing, where the graduate people they can be absorbed. So initial phase they will do the machining activity and slowly they will learn this analysis kind of thing, or they can start learning the CAD kind of softwares so that there'll be good opportunities. Now, not only in India, but abroad also, in Japan, in US, in UK, again in Germany. In all these areas, there are good opportunities for the CAE engineer. So this was just a glimpse of the product development and CE software. Now, one of my most popular slide, the self-explanatory again. So I have done with my presentation. I must say thanks to all for patiently listening almost for 1 hour 45 minutes. And I tried to explain each and everything in detail. So first of all, congratulations to all, like you are a mechanical engineer. So really there are good opportunities in industry, but for those opportunities, there are few requirements like your basic concepts, like when we go for interview. So mainly we ask people basic questions, but people, they have good marks, but as far as the questions they are concerned, for simple questions, they are not able to answer those. So you need to take care of all your subjects, starting from your strength of material, mechanics, because whatever theory you have studied, the same theory we are applying in the industry. The shear force bending moment diagram. So while designing the parts, same thing is being considered. So manual calculations are also being done apart from just using these softwares. So in these softwares, they have good correlation examples already set up. That's why industries, industries, they are relying on those softwares. So I have done with my presentations. Thanks to the organizers, thanks to the college for giving me the opportunity. And many more lectures I already have prepared. Because these kind of lectures almost in all the Pune University as well as apart from Pune University, I have delivered. I'm in many of the conferences, in the short-term training programs, I'm the keynote speaker. I also guide the UG, PG and some PhD candidates. I'm also the working as examiner in the Pune University for UG and PG projects. So if you need any kind of help, you please call me, whether it is related to job, whether it is related to software also. So I don't charge anything. This is just a CSR kind of activity. We call it as a corporate social responsibility. Since my beginning started with the teaching industry. So from teaching, I moved to industry, and these software, they changed my life. Now, if I can change my life, definitely you can change your life. And I'm there to support. So thank you all. Then we can start with your questions.
Hello, Sanket. Hello, Sanket.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
So any question?
Sir, in the chat box, Chandan Desai is asking at which year there is maximum vibration in vehicles, and what is MPV?
What? Could you please repeat? What is the maximum vibration in the vehicle?
At which gear there is maximum vibration in vehicles, and what is MPV?
See, depending on the speed, say idling is the condition. If you stop onto the, say, signals, many times you observe the condition is called as a idling. In your thermodynamics also, you have studied the Morse test kind of thing. At different speeds, at different loads, the test is being conducted. So when the vehicle, it has 0 RPM speed, idling speed, that time the vibrations are maximum. In few of the vehicles, it depends on vehicle to vehicle category, configuration to configuration, it changes. Now, as the engine, it has some certain RPM range, some idling RPM, say if it is a commercial vehicle engine, four cylinder, 4-stroke engine. So from 600 RPM to 3000 RPM is the range. Now there is one formula. say 600 RPM divided by 60. So there will be 10 hertz. And since it is a 4-stroke and 4-cylinder engine, we have to multiply it by 2. So initial frequency will be 20 hertz. And if it is a 3000 speed, 3000 divided by 60, again it will come 50, multiply by 200. So 20 hertz to 100 hertz, this will be the exciting range. Now in this exciting range, if the vehicle get encountered, like if the vehicle speed is say 100 kmph, 70 kmph, 90 kmph, engine speed will be falling in this range, then definitely the vibrations there will be more. Different parts, they will have different criteria. But speed, that will not be the only case, because in case of engine, the how that engine is getting mounted, what kind of rubber mounts they are being used, so that is the important criteria. And MPV, either it is again multi-utility vehicle, MUV or MPV, multi-platform vehicle, it's called as a multi-platform. We mean to say, like it may be used for a cargo, like there is a Indigo vehicle, so there is Indigo, there is Indica, Indigo China, Indica, then Manza is there, so it is a multi-platform vehicle.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Also, Ganesh Mahadik from P is asking that could you please recommend good institutions from Pune which provide CAE software teaching?
See, there are many institutions if you go through internet, but there are few who can promise you about the job. See, I don't have a direct connection with them. Then as far as the crash testing is concerned, there is one institute called as the ELENO, ELENO. So Mr. Nachiket Phadke is the person who is running that institute. So many times on Facebook, I saw his post, like the guys who have undergone the training in his institute, they got a good job. Then in the Kothurud area or in Deccan area also, there are few institutes, but you just go through those institutes, you just get the structure, what software they are teaching, how much money they are charging, are they assuring you about the placement. You see, the people may tell you about 100% placement, but they say assistance, they will not give you assurance. So be careful while selecting the institute. So because they will charge you from few thousands to few lakh, and don't just run behind learning n number of softwares. Even if you learn 1 or 2 software, that is more than sufficient, because few of the institutes, they have courses like you pay 50,000, we will teach you 5 different softwares. So 5 different softwares at all, they are not required. Even if you learn 1 or 2, that is more than sufficient. At your own also, you can study all these softwares. For your information, I never join any of the software course. Whatever knowledge I gain in my teaching, that is only through my CAD/CAM lab. From the internet, I downloaded the data and I learned those softwares. But nowadays, lot of literature is available on the internet, on YouTube. You can go through that.
Thank you, sir. Also, Siddesh Jagdankar from T is asking that in electric vehicle, can we check load, temperature distribution, and vibration of motor while the car is in running condition?
Yes. See, I told you, like there are 2 different testing departments. One is in-house testing called as indoor testing, and there is outdoor testing. So there are different types of testing equipments that are being used. Mostly those equipments called as transducers. In the instrumentation subject, you might have studied. There are some strain gauges, there are some transducers that are being used. Some accelerometers, they are also used for measuring that data. And the same data we utilize in the CAE software for carrying out the analysis. So definitely we can do that. And it's the job of the testing department.
Thank you, sir. Does anyone have any more doubts? They can unmute themselves and ask. So I think there's no more doubts.
One question in chat box.
Okay, chat box. Sir, Chandan Desai is again asking that in upcoming years, do all IC engine vehicles will be replaced with electric vehicles, and what is its possibility?
See, 100% replacement, it's not feasible as far as India it is concerned, because the huge power requirement will be there. As far as the power is concerned, now for domestic as well as for farming, we don't have that sufficient power. So that will require the station installation also. Now, a lot of researches are going on for improving the range of the batteries for the EVs. Because if you want to travel from here to Pune to say Kolhapur or Pune to Mumbai, so in one go itself you can reach there. But if the charging station is not available, then how you will return back? So definitely the depending on the charging stations as well as cost of the vehicle is also high. How much subsidy government provides, that is also important parameter. And again the battery life, because battery charging and battery life, maybe after 7-8 years person has to replace the battery, and in EV the cost of the battery is the highest. So as of now 100% replacement definitely will not be possible in India, but subsequently based on the infrastructure availability it will happen.
Thank you, sir. Chaitanya Pawar from B is asking that as a fresher, how can we start for CAE career?
See, if your college or you have that ANSI software, so you can learn that ANSI software. For UG also, UG people also work as a CAE engineer in most of the industries, and subsequently they do their PG in service. So basic requirement of CAE software, like your fundamentals should be very good. You should know the stress strain concept, you should know the fatigue concept, then the shear force bending moment kind of thing, that should be known to you. And you should have that zeal for learning different kinds of softwares. In CAE, as I mentioned, like for meshing there is a hypermesh software. So you want to do a career in CAE, you should start learning that hypermesh software. That is again also a lot of tutorials are available on the internet. I think Mr. Apurva Bapat is one of the person who has given the good tutorials as far as this Altair hypermesh software is concerned. So you need to get the copy of the Altair hypermesh from someone, and then you can start learning at your own. So definitely good opportunities are there.
Thank you, sir. Sir, Vishal Rajput sir is asking that how UG students get job in CAE area.
See, as far as the big industry is concerned, say Tata, Mahindra or Bajaj, directly they may not get recruited because all the recruitments, it happens to the campus placement. But the small industry, the service industry, tier 1, tier 2 suppliers, say if there is a Tata group, now there are few companies who are providing, say suspension design is there now. Suspension is getting supplied by one of the company. Now that suspension company itself, they will have some small CAE group which will carry out certain kind of analysis. So initially they can start their career from that industry with the tier 1 supplier, and slowly based on the experience they can switch out to the other industries.
Thank you, sir. I think there's no more questions in the chat box. If anyone having any more doubt, they can ask. So I think all the doubts are clear. So I would like to present the vote of thanks for today's webinar. I would like to thank our guest webinar speaker, Mr. Shailesh Patil, for taking out time from their very busy schedule and enlightening us with their knowledge. So today's webinar was full of knowledge and interesting things. It gave deep insights into the topic, also revealed some very interesting facts. The point where sir told us about various aspects taken into consideration while designing a vehicle and its manufacturing. Also the dynamic testing and durability crash testing was very informative, and I'm pretty sure that this precious knowledge will definitely help us in our studies and future. I'd also like to thank our HOD, Dr. Pranav Charka sir, for giving permission to organize this webinar session and inviting Mr. Shailesh Patil sir to conduct it. Also, Rajput sir and Wagmare sir gave their valuable guidance in organizing this lecture. So a big thanks to them. I want to thank the SAE India college team, student college team, who really worked hard and make this event successful. Also, thanks to all the students who are present here for paying your attention and learning. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks to all. Once again, thanks to college for giving me the opportunity. And I'm a special thanks to Sanket, who has coordinated on my behalf with the college so that the event can be possible. Thanks to all the students, and I wish all the best to all of you for your future career. In future, if required any help, do contact me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you.